Hello, this is Chuki. Today I will be starting my first ever hardcore world in... that doesn't seem right. Let's just put this here. Ignore all the other worlds I did as brief test runs, so I could get used to playing on mobile because I had a previous recording but I felt like, who made this hit boxes? Whenever I tried to play. Anyways, let's hope I get a good seed and a decent spawn. It would be a shame if it was something like an island or a desert. The name stands for my first serious hardcore world in Minecraft. While past me is here setting everything up, let me explain something really quick. As you can see in the title, it says 01 out of 51, and I decided to make 51 episodes because January 5th is my birthday, and because I need to set a goal up for myself to see if I am capable of surviving 51 episodes. Now, in a few moments, you are about to witness a tragedy that almost made me want to delete this world and start a new recording. Enjoy the worst possible start to any Minecraft Let's Play. Of course, I had to spawn in a freaking desert where the only thing you can get is sticks. So there I was collecting some sticks, so when I found wood eventually, put a big huge emphasis on eventually, I wouldn't have to waste as much wood as I usually would. And I spotted a desert village in the distance, so I honestly thought that I could go find any type of biome that actually had trees, considering all I saw at the moment were the desert and the Badlands. And you guys are not ready for the ridiculous amount of time and effort it took me to find a single tree, but in a moment you'll see it. For now, you can enjoy the beginning of me keeping up hope of finding a forest nearby, but that would lead me to spiral into insanity, and it was all over one of the basic resources you need to do anything in the game. I don't know why I thought running around in a desert with essentially nothing would be a good idea. I swear I almost ascended for a second. Now that I had just had a near-death experience, I remembered that I still needed to go to the village. So I took off, but this time I actually went at a decent pace to avoid falling into a random pit of doom and despair, and also so this series wouldn't be just one episode that was not even 2 full minutes. Now, before we see the loot, I want you to guess how many chests there were in this village. The options are Option A, 1 chest. Option B, 2 to 3 chests. Option C, more than 4. Well, you would be wrong if you chose any of those, because all I did there was take their food and steal one of the beds so I wouldn't die when nighttime came around. I swear this is probably the poorest village I have ever encountered. Even abandoned villages have more resources than this. This is where I was slowly starting to realize that I needed to get out of this biome if I wanted to live off anything that weren't sticks or cacti, but little did my past self know this would take 6 in game days or around 1 whole ass hour in the real world. So let's just speed up things, and I'll pause and go back to commenting when something interesting happens or when I feel like explaining something. Some of you might have noticed the counter that I've put for both villages and for temples. Trust me guys, there's a reason a counter is there in the first place. Also, I just realized how freaking slow I walk. I am definitely sprinting 24/7 after seeing the speed that I am moving. The loot I ended up getting was kinda meh in the large scheme of things. I honestly would have been happy if there was less rotten flesh. The best thing were the bones, since bone meal is always a good thing to have at the start. But I guess that's just the way things go. The golden apples were also the best item overall, but I'll be keeping them for when I decide to venture in more dangerous biomes or when I eventually get to the nether. And that is how the first 10 minutes of this world went by. Now it was another brand new day where I was on my quest to find wood. To give you a heads up as to what happens in the near future, let's just say that by the time I found a tree, I could skip the wooden tool step. Yeah, another desert temple, as if I hadn't been in one at the start of the day. I was picking up sand just in case it was really high up, and it's not like I had any other block to my disposal. Now, why the fuck is it so high up? I have no idea what I was trying to do here. Maybe this was a sign that I was slowly becoming crazy due to the lack of trees. I swear this world was going to leave me like the Lorax by the end, speaking for the trees. I realized what I wanted to do was weird, so I did what I should have done in the beginning. A stair with the sand I picked up beforehand. Woo! When I was recording, I was kind of disappointed, but it's because my phone brightness was so low I didn't realize I had gotten a notch apple. Ignore that I was trying to stack a golden apple with a notch one. And I also ended up getting my first ever diamond, so that made me kind of happy, but the rest of the loot was rubbish. I would say that it's honestly not so bad what we've gotten. Sure, I may not use an enchantment table until I get at least a full set of iron. Oh boy, another village. I'm so happy. That puts us at 2 villages and 2 temple. And absolutely not a single piece of wood in sight. But this one was even worse than the first one I went to, but at least I was able to get bread, so I wouldn't have to keep eating uncooked potatoes. Get out of the bed, child. So 20 minutes in, and I got diamond before I even have a crafting table, but let's see me get absolutely lost in the desert.
Let's pretend I almost didn't drown there. And also let me offer you all with some Subway Surfers, parkour, because most of us have cooked attention spans. There we go.
Ignore the third voice change. I didn't like the one I was previously using. This village was the best one out of the 3 I had encountered so far, considering this one actually had a blacksmith, which made me gain armor and an iron pickaxe, so that was great. Now all I needed was wood. And if you were wondering, no, I didn't find any in this village, but I did steal one of their crafting tables, so I would be able to turn all the wheat into bread when needed.
Boy, would you look at that, a third one. This is definitely what I needed. Not wood, not a tree, not a biome that doesn't have sand. Why would I think that? That would be silly. Also, yeah, I changed the voice again and I just realized I sound like freaking Pinippo. Oh my freaking chungus life. But anyways, I will probably stick to this voice, because, now that I think about it, it's kinda funny, plus I really like the more robotic feel to it. The other ones were getting into uncanny valley territory. Sorry if some words get kinda messed up, but this is a text-to-speech from 1998, so you can't ask for much. Let's see what other type of antics I get into. Or maybe not. I swear I started the recording at like 60% with power saving on, but I guess it was too much even for my phone, but I would rather record on my phone than set up the weird contraption I showed in my introduction video with the switch and everything. While you watch me struggle trying to see if I can find a tree before my phone dies, I guess I can tell you all what I want to accomplish with me playing hardcore. To be honest, I feel like I don't really have any ability I excel at in Minecraft. I can't build for the life of me. I need a tutorial of reference so my buildings don't look like they came out of 2014. I understand redstone, but only at like the most basic level. I have never done PvP in Minecraft because I have never had anyone who wanted to PvP with me, and I can't join online PvP because I don't have the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. I'm also not a miner or a farmer because I would always die to lava lakes when I was younger, and I was never interested in farming, so I guess you could say I suck at the game, and I want to change that. I want for this world to help me improve and slowly make me lose my fears ... and I would like to share that with whoever might be watching. Aside from the fact that my phone died, let's get back to our original goal, which is searching for a single tree at least. I swear, if I end up having to use this stupid PNG of a Minecraft tree, I am going back to making YouTube shorts for at least a month. Talking about YouTube shorts, I took a break from it because I wasn't happy with the quality they had. I'll still keep them up, but I might end up remaking some of them now that I got some more stuff figured out. Plus I felt like they were kinda low effort, since I could get one done and edited in like 2 hours. Like I said in my introduction video, this channel is not because I want to get famous or anything. I actually enjoy not having that many subscribers. I made it because I wanted to share my love of gaming with people, since it's the last thing I still have passion for.
Also apologies, if from this point forward the editing seems kinda lazy. I was gonna finish this sooner, but I have the immune system of a twig, so I have been dying due to common cold, so my apologies for my low effort. To be honest, I think I might leave the rest of the video with silence, because I didn't really have some sort of script. I usually use scripts, so when I have to generate my text-to-speech voice, I only have to copy-paste, as do not take up much time writing each line individually like how I'm doing right now. I think I need to get a better plan about how I approach making videos, but that's a story for another day, so I guess this is kinda the last bit for a bit, but don't worry, I will do a small outro at least. Oh my god, it's a tree, oh my god, it's a fucking tree. After a whole hour of playing Minecraft, I finally found a stupid tree. Guys, we finally got out of the biome that wasted an hour of my life and gave me everything but wood, so now I can start collecting materials for a base. And since I was too tired to attempt to build something out of my imagination, I will be using this tutorial house. So you now get a collecting montage. While this dummy tries to get flint and steel, let me say goodbye and I hope you guys tune in to see the next episode of this Loner's Hardcore World. Yes, that will be the official title for the next 50 episodes. I will probably finish this house off camera for the next episode, but with all of this, see you later guys. Hopefully someday I can afford a decent laptop to record on and of course afford the actual Minecraft, not to mention work on losing my anxiety to use my voice, because, while text-to-speech does help me, I don't want to be fully reliable on it. Bye bye.